Hello, friends and neighbors. Welcome to Gentry Vintage. I'm Josh, your host. I hope this video finds you well. Hope everybody's staying warm and safe from all the snow and ice that's been moving across the country. I tell you what, out in California, they got all the wildfires going on out there, which if you're out in California, I know a couple of you do. So if you're out in California, our prayers are definitely with you, and I hope you're safe, and hopefully they can get this mess under control out there. It sounds like it's been a pretty bad. I mean, they're always bad, but this one in particular seems like it's been really bad. But I seen yesterday, I think they said sustained 98 mile an hour winds. That is crazy. But if you're out there in or near the California area and everything, I hope you're safe, and our prayers are definitely with you. But if you're not in California and you've been affected by all the snow and ice moving through the two different snowstorms, whatever the winter storms that's come through, here in my part of Kentucky, we got hit last Sunday with about 9 or 10 inches of snow and ice, which you may have heard me say on the channel before that I hate winter. I hate the cold weather. But I do like it to get at least one good snowfall during the winter, at least one. And I did get that. Unfortunately, I got more than I bargained for because I didn't want the ice with it. But the ice has made it a pain in the butt. I've only worked 2 days this week. Monday, my work was closed. Tuesday, the boss decided to attempt to have work, and he did tell us if we didn't feel comfortable coming in, don't do it. So I stayed home Tuesday because the roads, especially around my house, are just absolutely horrible. I don't advise anybody to get out if you don't have to and stuff like that. It's just, and it's not always you have to worry about it. Sometimes it's the other people around you that can get you in a mess. But like one of my neighbors, he's been getting out in his 4-wheel drive Dodge Ram and acting a fool out on the streets. But yeah, sometimes people like that you gotta watch out for. But I went to work Wednesday and Thursday, and our boss told us yesterday that he wanted to shut work down for today because it's supposed to snow again. Well, it is snowing, and this time it's just straight snow, no ice, just straight fluffy snow. But it's been a kind of a light, steady snow all day, and supposed to get another. Last I saw, they said 3 to 5. Some places could have 6. Some places could be closer to the 3. But whatever it is, few more inches. But like I said, this time at least it's just fluffy snow. They said this kind, if your driveway's already clear, you can probably go out with a leaf blower and blow this stuff off. But this is a pretty kind of snow right here. But yeah, the wife looked outside today, and I had got out and shoveled the driveway the other day, which, whew, my goodness. Getting out there and busting up all that ice and trying to shovel that mess was exhausting. The neighbor, she was out there. She's about 70 years old, and she was out there trying to shovel some the other day, and I was going to go over and try to help her get some of hers shoveled, and I was so sore by the time I finished mine, I couldn't do it. But luckily, I believe it was her son maybe that came over and did some of it for her. But I told her, I texted her, and I said I was going to come over and help you get a path to get your car out and everything. And I said I'm so sore. I said give me a day or so, and maybe I can get out there and do something. But she said no, don't worry about that. She said I'll just go out there and work on it a little at a time. It gives her something to do. That's what she said. But yeah, the snow's pretty, but I don't like the cold. It's been darn cold here, and next week it's gonna be just as cold. But hope everybody's doing all right from all that. I know they said it even snowed down in Texas, which is kind of unusual. So today I'm smoking Carter Hall. Surprise, surprise. And this time I'm smoking it for the first time in a cob. Actually, first time I'm smoking this particular cob in general. But this was a gift from Smoking Fred, along with the pipe that I got from his giveaway that I won. And I assume this is a Missouri meerschaum. I haven't seen any markings on it, but I can only assume that it's a Missouri meerschaum. Regardless, I've heard several people say that Carter Hall is really good in a cob, and even though I smoke Carter Hall literally pretty much every day, I've never smoked it in a cob, and then I don't even know why. Uh, so we're doing that today. I generally like to use a cob. Um, a lot of times, really, if I'm trying to blend that I really want to try to kind of get to know and get all the flavors out of it, sometimes I'll put it in a cob to really kind of familiarize myself with it, if that makes sense. Cobs just kind of bring out some of the flavors that a briar pipe sometimes doesn't. You know, I just realized earlier, um, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I just realized earlier that I have a total of two tampers. Um, I have this little cheap, check tool that I use most of the time, that I've had for since I bought my very first pipe almost 15 years ago. But I primarily use this, and then my I am Corona old boy lighter has a built-in tamper that I use. But I just realized that those are literally the only two tampers I have. I had a little cheap tamper that the wife commandeered, so I just let her keep that. But I know a lot of people have several tampers, but I have this one and the one in my old boy lighter, and I mean they do just fine. But using the Zippo today, last night I realized I was out of butane, so the old boy gets a break until I get some more, and broke out the old Zippo. Oh man, got out today and burned some old boxes we had. I always keep all the Amazon and whatever else boxes and break them down and burn them in the burn barrel. Um, cuts down on trash. But with all the snow and everything on the ground, I figured now would be a real good time to burn those while everything's wet and frozen and so forth. I'm always really cautious when I burn paper or cardboard stuff because you always get little pieces that float up in the air, little embers and stuff. And I don't want to burn my house down or anybody else's house down, so I always try to be mindful when I burn stuff like that. But I figured today would be a pretty good day to do that since it's so moisturous outside. One bad thing about all this snow is the mail hasn't been running, and I've been expecting several packages. I think the mail's only run one day this week, and I actually got one of the packages that I didn't know I was waiting on until I was told about it, and then it did show up. And thank you, Pat, once again. I really do appreciate it. Um, but I have a couple other packages that I'm still waiting on. Oh, I'm sorry. I did receive. I received one tobacco order that I had placed. Did come that same day, but waiting on a couple other packages that maybe will show up one day. I also have a couple packages I need to send out that would be nice to get out, but eh, all this stuff will melt off eventually. So with all the talk about the STG takeover, as some people call it, um, I've mentioned it on this channel a few times, especially as far as my HH Burley Flake being discontinued. Which, by the way, thank y'all so much. I had so many of you reach out to me in regards to helping me find websites that had it in stock, so I could try to stock up on it. Um, there were so many of you that reached out, whether you posted in comments or sent me an email or texted me or whatever. Um, but there were so many of y'all that were generous enough, kind enough to find websites that had it in stock and let me know about it. And I really do appreciate that. And I have been able to get my hands on a pound of it. And honestly, I don't even know if it's shipped or not. I should probably check on that. It worries me because I don't know how many websites, um, when they're out of stock, if it actually says or not. I don't. I'm sitting there worried every day this week that I'm gonna get some kind of email saying we're sorry it wasn't in stock, but hopefully it really is. So I need to check and see if it actually shipped or not. But I got a couple tins that showed up the other day, and I got a pound of it coming. But I really appreciate everybody, you know, being kind enough to help me try to find that. It's such a wonderful community. Uh, I even had somebody reach out to me that wanted to buy me a couple tins and send it to me, and I really truly do appreciate the offer. But that's totally unnecessary. I got a little bit, and like I said, I was able to get my hands on a pound. But I really do truly appreciate your offer, and but I don't want nobody spending money on me like that. It's very very appreciated, but spend your money on get you some tins for yourself. Don't worry about me. Uh, but as I was gonna say, I got distracted. There's a light over on the other side of the shop over here that keeps flickering on and off, and I don't know why. Uh, these are LED lights out here, so it shouldn't be. I'll mess with it later. Um, so the whole STG takeover thing, if you will. Like I said, I've mentioned it a few times on the channel, but I've never really, I guess, gave my personal opinion. Um, Many people have made videos and gave their opinions and stuff, and um, I guess I never really have done that. So I'm going to do that today. So here is my personal opinion on the whole STG Sutliff McBaron takeover. Um, yes, it sucks. For us pipe smokers, it sucks. Um, while there's not a lot of Sutliff blends that I smoke regularly, um, there are some good ones out there. There are a few Sutliff blends that I like. Um, the wife loves the what is it, vanilla custard, which is going to be staying around. They did release. I'm sure most of you have probably seen. They did release a list of some of the blends that are staying around, and vanilla custard was one of those. Rum and maple was one, which is another one that I enjoy. Um, but really, there's not a lot of Sutliff blends that like I said, that I smoke regularly. There are good Sutliff blends. I just don't smoke Sutliff a lot. As far as McBaron goes, really the only thing McBaron wise I mean, I have some no, excuse me, I have some London Burley that I smoke on occasionally, but that's a limited edition thing. It's not something that's regularly out. Uh, but as far as a regularly produced McBaron blend, really the only one that I have in my cellar or that I have on the shelf is H Burley Flake. And unfortunately, the whole HH line was discontinued. But that was kind of devastating to me because that is my all-time favorite blend, aside from Carter Hall. Burley Flake is my number one favorite blend. So yes, that was kind of devastating because I really thought the HH line would survive. Um, when I got the news on that, I was kind of heartbroken. But it's not the end of the world. Even if I wasn't able to find it, there's other blends out there. Do they come close to Burley Flake? No. But even if I couldn't find it, I would have to live with the fact that it's no longer available, and I'm just going to have to find something that's a semi decent replacement. Um, there are much worse things that can happen out there. I am grateful, like I said, that I have been able to acquire some more, and I will definitely sell her some, deep sell her some to have on hand, and slowly go through the rest of it. Um, However, I've seen people talk about their aggravation about STG, and some people saying don't support, don't buy from STG, don't support them, blah blah blah. Um, I will agree to disagree a little bit on that. Um, if you really stop and think about a lot of the blends that you smoke, most people probably smoke a decent amount of blends that are already STG blends. Um, do I agree with what STG is doing with the Sutliff and McBaron lines? No. Um, I don't like how they're handling all this. I don't like that they're getting rid of so many blends that people love so much. Um, I just I don't understand some of that, and I'm not going to get too deep into it because we could sit here all day. But I just I think there's better ways they could have gone about some of this, and some of it I can't help but wonder if it's a little bit of a sales gimmick kind of thing. Let's threaten to take things away and give it a while, and then maybe bring some of it back at a higher price. Um, I don't know. Only time will tell on that. I just, like I said, the HH line. I'm really surprised that they did away with that. That I would think would be a really big seller, probably better than you know uh, vanilla custard and rum and maple and so forth. I would really think that the HH line was probably selling a lot more. For one thing, the HH line, you get buy a 10 of an HH blend, and from one, it costs more than one of the aromatic blends that they're keeping. Um, it's probably maybe easier to blend and distribute maybe some of these ones they're keeping, and cheaper for them to do. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of up in the air on whether it'll stay discontinued or if they'll bring it back and jack the price up. I'm still up in the air on that. I kind of hope they do. Well, oh, yeah. Even if they brought it some of it back and the price went up a little bit, I'm sure it would still sell well. Um, Especially over the past couple of years or whatever, the cost of living and uh, inflation and so forth. Um, the country, the world, whatever, it's kind of proven that you jack prices up and people are still going to buy it. Um, but here's my thing. I can't really agree with the whole boycott STG and all that. There's one thing you got to keep in mind. So, hold on. For STG to acquire Sutliff and McBaron, you have to keep in mind that someone approached STG and wanted to sell. Um, Even if STG approached them and offered to buy, it was still their decision whether to sell or not. Um, so it's sad to see Sutliff. Sutliff's the oldest American tobacconist still operating in, well, was still operating in this country. Um, but like I said, somebody went to STG and said, "Are you interested in buying this company?" Um, McBaron. I'm speaking of McBaron and Sutliff together, since they were owned by uh, you know one is basically one company. Uh, but somebody had to go to STG and ask if they were interested in buying it. It's not like somebody forced them to sell it. Um, Another thing is 98% of the tobacco that Sutliff and McBaron was using wasn't grown in the United States anyway. Um, because I've heard several people say don't support STG because it's not American grown, not American harvest, or whatever. Um, but 98% of the tobacco that they were using was sourced from out of the country anyway. So it wasn't already American made grown tobacco. Most of it was probably coming from Scandinavia anyway. Um, Now, while I do agree that we should definitely support our American tobacconists, such as C&D and other blenders and stuff that are American, but especially your brick and mortar stores and smaller business, mom and pop businesses. I definitely agree that we need to support them now more than ever, especially the ones that were doing really well on blends that was using Sutliff tobaccos. Um, I do think it's very important because that's going to hurt their pocketbook, um, and they're going to have to take a step back and figure out how they're going to rethink all this to keep the blends going, or if they can keep them going. But yeah, I mean, I can't really sit here and blame STG completely. They bought bought it and are keeping it going. Yes, they got rid of some blends that sucks, um, but at least they did take it over. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Um, like I said, there's probably a lot of blends that we smoke that we don't even realize are STG products. Um, I don't like I don't like that STG is trying to corner the whole market on the whole pipe tobacco thing. That aggravates me. But so I'm not saying I fully 100% agree with all of it, but they are trying to corner the market on the pipe tobacco stuff, and I don't appreciate that at all. Um, but I do think there's opportunity here for some people to maybe start up their own stuff and maybe get some American blending and things getting back going again. Um, I don't know. The government regulates so much; it just kind of it hurts on trying to keep everything in the U.S. But try not to get political and all that. But that's just my 2 cents on everything. I don't like it, but I can't completely just boycott STG and everything. Like I said, they were approached about purchasing, and you know, it sucks that they're shutting. I most of all I feel bad for the people that work for Sutliff in the factory and everything, and losing their jobs and all that. And I really hope that there's some type of a payout for them, that financial something that they've worked out. I hope they weren't just all left out in the cold, but I don't know the inner workings of all that. All I know is I'd hope they worked something out for them. I'd hate to know that I was working in a job for 20 or 30 years and then somebody come in, bought the company, and poof, you don't have a job, no financial support or anything. But I don't know what they've done. They may have worked out something. They may have done something good for them. I don't have a clue. But yeah, that's just my opinion. And as my dad used to say, that's just my opinion. It ought to be yours. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I respect everybody's opinion. But yes, I will still purchase some blends that are STG blends. Um, like I said, there's probably several that I have in the cellar in there that I probably don't even realize that are. Um, yeah. So with all that said, I guess I'll cut it off here. I'm gonna go out here and see if the burn barrel's still going or not, and throw a few more things. I realize there's a few things over here in the shop that I need to, some boxes I got sitting over here I need to throw in there. But I'm gonna go tend to that, and I reckon until next time, I wish blessings for all and lots of luck to you and yours.